All right, man. Season 5, episode 53. Give a round of applause. We're here with Indianapolis legend. For sure, man. Everybody shout out Juwann Nelson.
Hey.
Make sure y'all check him out on
What it do?
Instagram at WANNMILLION. Yes. We talking about the videographer in the city doing big things. The NFL. The list goes on.
He's got
if there's any Indianapolis documentary, he's shooting it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So give a round of applause. Give a round of applause for
Salute the shooter.
I'm gonna tell you how
Nelson
I know
here, man.
he's really good at what he does.
Go ahead.
He has on what's no less than a $500 sweatshirt. No less. I've never seen it. I don't know where to look for it.
Yeah.
It's pristine white. It's crazy.
I appreciate that. It ain't
Just came out
500
the
though,
pack.
but
for sure.
yeah,
That
appreciate
come
And
it.
embroidered too.
This-
That's stitching.
No, this is
It's a Thai
Spark. It's
commercial.
an Italian racing brand. So yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of got. I shoot in racing. I
That
got
ain't
some
a sax.
content there. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
Indeed.
Can't get that at Saks.
It's gonna be a lot of subtle flexes this episode. I'm ready for them. It's gonna be a good
I'm
time
prepared.
for sure, man. Where can everybody find you, Juwann? Make sure they know all the social media handles.
Yeah. Y'all can find me on Instagram. That's the easiest way, I guess. WANNMILLION, WANN million. On Twitter, Juwann317 at Juwann317, or just Google my name. Everything's gonna come up. My website, WANNMILLION.com. My SEO is together, so yeah,
You
it's
streamlined
easy
it.
to find me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Indeed, man. Another round
Yes,
of
sir.
applause, man. Hey,
This nigga's goddamn Arsenio Hall over here.
Yes, sir.
good. No,
Clap,
this is really
clap
good,
again.
though. We about to go and get started. We always start off each interview with the pregame pop quiz. Going to ask you a flurry of questions. Do your best to answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ruff.
If you could shoot any event, past, present, future, what would it be?
Ooh. Any event? Wow. Is this like a like an actual event or
Something.
a day and time,
Like, I don't know.
If I could shoot anything,
Something like
I think it would have been cool. It would have been cool to be at the Super Bowl in 2006 when Prince performed "Purple Rain" in the rain.
Woo!
That would have been dope to like be there and capture that
Iconic.
somehow.
that was
That would have been
Yeah.
crazy.
Wrap that perm up and say,
Wow.
let's go.
yeah, but I was only 9 years old at that time, so yeah. But that would have been dope.
If I get electrocuted so big, they gonna know I died doing
Yeah.
my shit.
And we
For
got the dub, so that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I remember.
How old
What's
were
your
you?
Ruff?
I was 9. Yeah,
Damn.
I'm 23.
I'm old.
Wow. When was the last time your team won it? How old
Why
were
you
you?
pointing? Why you pointing at me like that?
I just wanted to know.
I don't like your energy.
I didn't like how you acted. Yeah. I want nigga.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next, man. Who is your favorite? Let's go music video director.
I
Someone we may not necessarily know, or
Hype Williams.
You really respect as just an artist in this particular field. Who was that person for you?
I'll go with 2. Spike Jordan. I really love his work. He did this project for Gunna's last album, Wanna. He did like this 2-part documentary series. It was on YouTube. But he directs a lot of music videos also. But that's my favorite project by him. Also Cole Bennett out of Chicago.
Lyrical Lemonade.
Lyrical Lemonade.
Lemonade, yeah. Because when I graduated from high school, I was playing football. I went out to Benedictine University to play football out there, D3 school in Chicagoland area. And that was right around the time. That was like the SoundCloud era. That was 2016. So like he was really blowing up, coming up with Juice WRLD, Trippie Redd, who else? Like Young Bands, like a lot of guys. Yeah, I really admired his work at that time. And that's the same time I was getting into video production. I bought my first camera around that time. So music video directors, yeah, Cole Bennett. But like directors as a whole, like Spike Lee's definitely my biggest inspiration for sure.
That's what's
Niggas
up.
don't like Spike.
Sorry,
Great answer.
I disrespect
Yeah.
Spike all the time.
It's
bro.
weird.
I don't know why.
It's just
He got
don't
some
even know
solid
why.
projects, bro.
Nigga don't like do the right thing.
He's
It's
got
crazy.
classics.
Yeah,
yeah, he got some.
I mean that Sal scene, that boycott
Come
Sal
on,
scene is
man.
always one that will stick with me. But yeah, he's just an OG, and all the commercials he did with Nike and Michael Jordan back in the day.
Yeah, those are iconic.
Like
for
the
sure.
way that he just got to where he's at is really cool.
It's fun. I was gonna ask about the music video thing too. I was gonna say, like, if you could think of anybody past or present that you could shoot a video for, what would that song be?
I really don't shoot that many music videos,
Right.
but
Because that era ended, and it's sad.
Nah, he focused on the athletics out here.
yeah, I mean,
Where the
I
money's
started out
at.
shooting a lot of music videos, like music videos, weddings, because that was, people just kind of needed them. It was bread and butter. I was trying to get that taught me how to like shoot and edit like consistently. So I was doing a lot of that. But yeah, I just kind of moved into more sports, more longer form content, social media content for sports teams, athletes, now leagues like the NFL, IndyCar. Got into some racing, which is really cool. That's how I
shooting racing's got to be difficult.
Yeah, the racing. It's not necessarily me like shooting like on the cars on track. It's more like documenting the drivers, telling their story, behind the scenes type content like that. So that actually explains this hoodie because I was working with the McLaren. Have you heard of McLaren before?
The Mercedes.
Nah. So McLaren's a whole separate brand, but like they do make like luxury sports cars.
So a McLaren's not a Mercedes?
Niggas rap about they rap about those.
That's what I mean.
It's like a collab.
Probably
I didn't know
so.
it was a collab. I didn't know that.
So McLaren is a brand based in the UK, but they make like luxury sports cars. I mean, they get name dropping music all the time.
Yeah, niggas rap about them.
Yeah, but they have also a racing brand, which is Formula One. Have you heard of Formula One before?
Yeah,
huge.
sure.
Yeah, so McLaren's huge in Formula One, but they also have an IndyCar team, which runs in Indy 500, based here in Indianapolis. So that's how I got connected with them. So I was doing a lot of work for them, even up this year, even at the Indy 500. They had sent me to Italy in July to like do this thing with one of their partners for like 25 years, whatever. That's where this came from, was Sparco in Italy. So that was cool. But
so you picked it up in Italy.
Yeah.
Got it from the source.
Yeah, they show good hospitality out there, man. It was crazy. Just being black, being out there, it was wild. Very old. It was in Turin, Italy. We flew into Milan, but yeah, that changed my life. I don't even know how we start talking about that, but yeah, it changed my life.
I'll go sports question.
Go ahead.
If you could have one athlete and they decided I need a videographer and you're gonna shoot my shit,
yeah,
exclusively, who'd that athlete be?
That's a great question. Well, it had to be LeBron. I mean, that's easy. I mean,
no, you can't use him.
Okay, that's the easy one. Okay. Any athlete.
Well, because it's like.
I mean, it'd just be cool to
shoot the video is gonna be Beyonce. I'm shooting the athlete's gonna be LeBron.
Yeah. Somebody I would like.
Had to sign an NDA for the haircut videos.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard question.
Especially when you want you to answer it.
Yeah, because it's so many. Maybe somebody like Lamar Jackson, that'd be cool. Because I like stories that I like people that stand on what they believe and just
I think
who
gonna
they
smoke
are.
his blunt no matter what.
Yeah,
it's
like
all season, bro.
Like Lamar Jackson, I don't know. I've kind of always gravitated towards him because.
Shout out Lamar, you guys number retired too.
Yeah, I would love to work with him.
They showing love now.
But also Lewis Hamilton.
Tight.
Lewis Hamilton. If y'all know who Lewis Hamilton is, going back to racing, he's a Formula One driver for Mercedes. In Formula One, very well world-renowned driver. Won a lot of championships, really good. I love to tell a story. He's the only black driver in Formula One, which is a very bougie, like
my brother,
very rich racing league.
Yeah. The name didn't give it away at first. I didn't know.
Being at the top is very inspirational. So Lewis Hamilton would be somebody that'd be cool to work with.
For sure, he's gonna have a movie someday. I'm sure.
No doubt.
It's coming.
Yep.
Indeed.
Lewis Hamilton.
Was it everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, man. Round of applause, man. Pre-game pop quiz. Again, man, make sure y'all check out Juwann on Instagram, all the social media handles. I just want to know, man. I know you mentioned playing D3 football.
Yeah.
How did that experience then transition into you finally saying, I'm gonna go and pick up a camera and actually start recording?
Yeah. So
things?
like playing football was like very instrumental to who I am like right now. I credit it for a lot of the success that I've gotten right now. So I like start from the beginning. Basically, I grew up. Started out on the west side. I went to School 79, which is on like 34th and Georgetown, 34th Street area. So I went to, that's where I started going to school, kindergarten to like third grade. Then we moved, me and my family moved around a lot. So we moved, you know what I'm saying, just trying to make it. But we ended up on the east side, so that's why I kind of claim east. But started out west. I was going to school out there about fourth grade. I started playing football or whatever. Loved that, always did that. So, pretty much through high school, I was a pretty decent player. So I just kind of kept that up. A slot. Punt return, kick return, smaller, shiftier guy. I really enjoyed it, man. I learned a lot of like teamwork pillars, mental toughness, battling through adversity, all those things I've taken into my career now. So I played at Warren for 2 years. Then I ended up transferring to Mount Vernon. If y'all heard of Mount Vernon before, it's like past Lawrence. My grandma had retired from National City Bank, which is now PNC.
Okay.
But she had retired and moved from her house out west on like 30th and Lafayette Road and built a house in McCoursville. So that's how I went to Mount Vernon after I transferred from Warren Central. Long story short, graduated from Warren Central. I had one D1 like walk-on offer to Valparaiso, and I had UIndy. I had a full ride to UIndy, and I had offered to play at a D3 school in Chicago with one of my former one of my former high school coaches got a job there. So that's how I learned about that school. His name's Coach Love. Love Coach Love. Shout out Coach Love, man.
Shout out Coach Love.
He works for the Bears now. He worked his way up.
Charles Love.
Damn, shout out to him.
Love,
C-Love.
man. Yeah,
What
shout
are you?
out C-Love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, man. He done a lot for me, man. So
Real
that's my dog. So yeah, I get to college.
Indianapolis Relodix over there.
Playing my freshman
From
year.
Bloomington.
He played at IU. Yeah, that's like my dog, man. Like
Real nigga for real.
yeah, that was
Really
my
good
pops
guy.
away from home, when I really needed him. But yeah, my freshman year, fast forward a little bit, we had like the 6th game of the year, like right in the middle of the year. I'm punt returning. I let a punt like fall in front of me, so I'm trying to be like superhero. We up like 21 points, so I'm trying to like get some highlights.
Touchdown.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the punt drops in front of me. Of course, like the coach probably want me to say like, nah, leave it alone. I'm trying to scoop it up, so I try to like scoop it up late, and somebody like a defender like comes. It feels like 90 degrees from this way. As soon as I try to like scoop the ball, he comes, hits me like 100 miles an hour. My shoulder like pops out. Right?
Wow.
And I had never dislocated my shoulder. So I didn't run like to the team doctors on the sideline. Like I ran like straight to one of my teammates I knew had like shoulder problems. And I'm like, bro, my shoulder is literally out of the socket. Like how do I get it back in? Because I wasn't trying to go to the team trainers because I want to stay in the game. So I'm like, how do I get my shoulder back into place, bro? And I wasn't in that much pain yet. You go like this, like you kind of do your arms like this, and you go up, and your shoulders will fall back in. So I did that. Yeah, so I did that.
Man, y'all-
Yeah, it was crazy.
Collegiate athletes, man.
It was crazy. And I was playing D3, so I can't imagine what guys playing Power 5, on national TV feel. Especially, with all the painkillers and all that.
Well,
Don't get me
the
started.
politics too, like trying to fight for that spot, trying to get on
play.
TV, trying to make it to the next
You
step.
want to play.
Yeah, you want to play.
Yeah, so it went back in. So I went back in the game or whatever. I can't remember what the play was, but it comes back out. So like every time your shoulder like comes out of the socket, like you're like tearing tissue or ligaments each time or whatever. So it gets worse each time. So it's after the second time it came back out in that same game, like the team doctors like got word, saw I was in pain or whatever. I was out for like 6 weeks. So when I was out, like at Division III schools, there's no like budget for social media and all, all the video stuff, highlights, all that. So when I was hurt, I had this camera that I had bought like the summer before I went to college. So like the last summer with my high school homies, like I bought a camera and I like made a vlog of our last summer or whatever. And I just put it up. Training camp started, college started. It was like, I'm not worried about that camera.
Is that still on YouTube to this day?
It is horrible video. It is on YouTube.
Tight.
Man, we can see
my
the beginning.
very first
What's the title?
Young Relic.
It was like a highlight video of my team. So when I was hurt, I just started using that camera, getting like highlights in the locker room after wins, on the field, just like
That's
my
what's
team.
up.
Then at the end of the year, I pirated or torrented Adobe Premiere on my laptop, this shitty laptop I had. I torrented that, and I just picked like a super popular song at the time. I think it was like a Uzi song or something, 2016. And I just put all the clips over that song and put it on YouTube, and it like went viral over my 2,000 student campus, little ass school. And the athletic department was like, do you want to, we'll give you a campus job. I was working at Geno's East Pizza in Wheaton, Illinois. and playing D3 football. This is 2016.
You said Wheaton?
Yeah.
You were in the field.
So I was in a suburb of
the
Chicago.
cornfields. Yes.
Nah, not the cornfields. Naperville is very affluent, very affluent neighborhood in the Chicagoland, western suburbs. So it was like I was in a suburb of Chicago. But what was I saying? I quit that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I quit that job, and my school gave me like a campus job to make
That's crazy.
those same
man.
type of videos for like our track team, basketball team, and volleyball, I believe. So I was on the football team, man. Had my little job or whatever. Gave me an office. I had a Mac, like a Mac desktop, and I was like, oh, like shit, this is cool. So now I was the kid on campus, like with the camera, right? So that's how like my passion shifted. Like the athletic department was giving me all these projects. Like we had like national track athletes in my school, Division III school. Like we had like national champion 100 meters long jump. So we had some like hype around that. So I was like telling their story. I shot national, so that got me that experience. Next thing I know, I got 6 videos to do for athletic department. Then I got practice and class, and I'm like, damn, I kind of like doing this video shit.
This
like
shit
more than
don't
going
hurt
to practice, and you know what I'm saying, it's cold.
Right.
Like,
My shoulder
I'm in
never
Chicago,
came out shooting no
D3.
video.
You know what I'm saying? So that kind of that's how my passion shifted. So I played one more year there, and I came back to Indianapolis. That's when I really was going hard with like music videos. I was working with Debo, Paris Ladon, everybody. Like Fresh does it. Literally everybody. We
You
just
was
shoot.
doing this at a very young. I did not know
Yeah.
you were 23, man.
At that time, I was only 20. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You naming some
Shooting
of the
Debo
big-
videos.
Yeah, so I was
Artists
doing that.
Shout out to
names in the
Debo.
city.
Yeah, shout
Shout
out
out to
Debo.
Debo.
Yeah, but that's how I got my start really, and I stopped playing, which was hard for me to do. But I'm happy I made that decision early because it's a lot of guys that like hang on a little too long. You got to know when it's time to stop playing and focus on something else, focus on your career. And I made
That's real, man.
Yeah, you got to know. And I knew I needed to gain 25 pounds, and I needed to really put a lot more work in. I knew I wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah.
So, but lucky for me, I found that out early on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I got into something else. So that's how I kind of got my start through football.
That's real, man. If you can, man, if you go to WANN Million's Instagram page, you'll see the quality, the videos that he shoots.
Yeah.
I just want you to talk about, if you can, speak to your style. So what makes a WANN Million video different than what you may see other people doing around the city in your field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just big on the story. I'm big on like interviews. I'm big on like writing out narratives, even if I'm doing like a highlight video for an event, I'm trying to find some narrative in that event so that it's not just music and B-roll running over the song, you know, or whatever it is. So I'm always trying to find a narrative in anything that I'm shooting, which I think that influences my style a lot because I love to shoot interviews and I love like the documentary style content. And like in the work that I do, I've like realized that like I'm speaking to people usually, like they're usually talking about the best moment of their life or the worst moment of their life. Like when we're talking about telling somebody's story, right? So like I've learned that like the work that I do is very like sacred and it's very important, especially for whoever I'm working with,
so you handle
client,
it a little
whatever
differently.
brand. Yeah. So yeah.
That's real. I want to one video that I really thought was phenomenal, man. Was the video in the wake of the George Floyd murder.
Yep.
You working with Aunt Paris, man. You really, in my opinion, you got the best visual of that experience in the city. Can you just tell us about how that came about and how you been? Again, you're connected, so how you able to kind of get that connection with Amp and then how that then led to that particular historical video in the city?
Yeah. So over COVID, like obviously, so when we was on lockdown, I mean that was tough for everybody, but that was the first time in about 2 years where I hadn't like went out and shot and edited something. Like I was just in the crib and my gear was sitting and it wasn't being used for a good month and a week. And I was like, damn, this feels horrible. Like I need to shoot something, right? And that was right around the time when Breanne Leith was killed in Indy, and we was on lockdown when that had happened, because that was before George Floyd happened. So that was like the first thing that happened. I was in the city. I'm like, damn, like we on lockdown and shit is getting wild, right?
That was tough.
You know, and
Because
then we
we
heard
went to cop, and then the young man got killed like right after that, right?
I think
it was
I
I can't remember the exact date.
Sean Reed.
Yeah.
What
It was after Floyd.
But Ahmaud Arbery was before that, but that was like that was the first thing.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah, so that was
Leith
just
the first.
Yeah, the cop went down and they killed
that
the
was
young
tough.
man that was recording himself. I
Yeah,
thought.
I think that
shortly
was
after that.
I think it was Breanne and Floyd, and then
Okay,
that was after.
this timeline sucks.
Yeah, and then
terrible.
John Reed also that happened, and we all saw that. So yeah, long story short, a lot of things had happened like in the summertime, and like that's the only story that I felt like I needed to tell at that moment. If y'all remember, like I mean, that was all that was in the news and the media.
Nothing
Was,
else talk- was
you know
all-
what I mean?
it.
That was it.
That was
So
it,
that's
man.
why I felt like I had to tell that story, especially in Indianapolis. I knew that in New York and in Chicago and in bigger markets, LA, like they was gonna document what that period of time was like. So that's why I felt like I had to do that. I actually put I put together a documentary called Two Pandemics about that whole period when we was on lockdown
Yep.
in Indy, things that happened. If y'all check that out, at
It's far. Check it out.
But I was shooting that I was in the process of shooting that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna document this lockdown. I'm gonna document COVID-19, the onset of COVID-19 in Indianapolis, and all the protests activity that happened downtown. And I felt like I had to tell that story again. So I was in the midst of doing that. So I was shooting interviews. I was covering protests. So when Aunt Paris and the Pacers did that one with Tamika Catchings and some players was out there, that was just me continuing the work I was already doing anyways, you know. So yeah, and then after that protest, I put together that 30-second video or whatever, and it kind of went viral over Twitter and IG. And yeah.
It's crazy, man. I just remember the drone shot, the aerial shot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which was crazy as well. I want to kind of get into that. Just the amount of money that you invested in yourself. There's a lot of different people that want to shoot videos. I'm interested in this. just talk about the strategy behind it all, man.
He made Snacks go woo earlier.
Ooh,
Snacks
wee.
you got one of those.
I had to start out, really small. Obviously, I was just working like a construction job, like half when I was doing videos, shooting music videos, doing weddings, and like working this construction job or whatever. And I just kind of saved up, bought a new camera, upgraded, just kind of slowly. But I have like invested a lot of money into gear and even like courses, like personal development type content, to learn and become a better entrepreneur, become a better negotiator, become a better storyteller.
That's real. Now, when you say that, you talking about YouTube University, or are you actually taking
YouTube, but mainly like things like masterclass, things like even certain like specific courses, like things on directing, things on storytelling, things on story arcs.
Wow.
Research, learning how to like use library databases. That's why I like documentaries, because they're usually based in research, and I try to do that with my projects.
Damn, a library database.
That's your question. This is super random.
The J store.
Yeah.
This is gonna settle the argument.
Dewey
for me.
Decimal
This is a
System.
Yeah.
That was my last time.
Is it biopic or biopic?
Ooh.
What? I think biopic. But
I know. I just want to make sure the whole rest of the world.
It is what it is.
I don't know two niggas that think it's not that.
Yeah.
But I just had to check.
But I've done a lot of like investing for sure, like in gear and just in personal development is taking me a long way. But I ain't got no kids, so it's easier for me to do that.
Agreed.
So I'm trying to.
And you young man too.
You
So-
can live life
that
with
is
no
okay.
children.
for sure. And I know you've been working close with the NFL.
Yeah.
What has that experience been like this year?
Yeah.
Just in general, how did that come about?
Yeah.
It's going well for you. You're there on the Coast games,
Yeah.
going crazy. We see the videos on Twitter. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've always I'm a former athlete, so I've always been I always gravitate towards sports and athletes and their stories, and even the brands and sponsors around sports and entertainment as a whole. I've always gravitated towards that. But the NFL thing came about. I was shooting, like I said, I was working with the racing team, Aero McLaren SP. They're based here in Indy, but they also had a Formula One team in the UK. But I was doing a lot for them, doing a lot of things, social media, behind the scenes content. I was working with pro athletes. Etuan Moore was one of them. Victor Oladipo when he was here.
Shout out to Vic.
Yeah, and I'm connected to a lot of agencies that like activate in Chicago, New York, and even LA, like the sneaker brands, Nike and them. And I was doing a lot of like work for them.
Nike and them.
Yeah,
Well, Nike and other
those
sneaker
guys
and other sneaker
Galleons.
brands. Yeah.
Like it.
But I was like getting hired by like agencies that had those connections to get me in at some of those shoots, and activations with pro athletes. So that got me going outside of Indy. So that helped me like build my name within the sports community, industry and in Indy. But in Indy, it's really strong. The sports connections are crazy. So the NFL, actually the Colts had referred me to the NFL.
Wow.
Which is actually crazy. I'm gonna go another story, because 3 years ago, when I had transferred back to IUPUI, I went into the Colts for an internship and was definitely denied for that. So
No thanks.
They stayed in contact with me. They followed me on social media, followed me on LinkedIn, like followed my journey, and 3 years later they end up referring me to the NFL to shoot at the home games.
That's crazy.
So I'm working directly with the NFL.
So you're an NFL employee.
Yes,
not so much a
I'm
Colts
not working for the
employee.
Colts.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm shooting Colts content, but it's for the NFL. But the Colts can use it though, for sure. So what I'm shooting on Sundays is like live content, so highlights and plays that are happening like live in the game. So if I get I don't know if y'all see like on social media, like it'll be like that angle, like close down on the field, shallow depth of field, blurry background.
Are you still shit the inside of the NFL?
You had a
Your shit say
crazy one.
Getty Images on it?
Thursday night game. You had a crazy
Oh yeah,
one.
Jonathan
I was
Taylor.
like, whoa.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. That was wild. But yeah, it's just those angles that they want to go out on social media like quickly. So the social media team for the NFL is like a whole company within itself. Like it's big. It's a lot of people.
Wow.
But yeah, so they get up on social media within minutes of the play happening. So it's pretty like exhilarating role, because I'm like running up and down the sidelines. Like if y'all go to a Colts game, y'all see me for sure.
It's work.
It's going crazy.
It's definitely work, but I love it.
Wow, are you gonna get a shout out on Thanksgiving Day? You know how the NFL always says you gonna be on there.
I don't. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Man. But yeah, but it's
we had him on the show. That's why.
but it's
Let's
dope
see.
though. Just meeting the NFL films, like those cinematographers are like, man, them is like
Elite.
the best. Man,
Best
them
of
dudes
the best.
are elite, man. Because they've been doing it for a long time and they just are raw. So it's
They
good
be
to like
having the
learn from
camera with
them.
them big ass white things.
Yeah.
Meet them.
Niggas run with a camera and all down their side.
Yeah.
Have one here.
Yep.
They the ones to get the family shout out. You know the picture of
I'm
their
dead,
families.
bro.
Yep.
Yeah. So NFL, that's dope.
That's gonna be Juwann one day.
Yeah.
Steve Williamson, he's been here 34 years.
Yeah.
Shoots every Thanksgiving game. Hey, Steve.
Yep.
Steve be up there like,
Fuck out.
Yep.
So I do this for.
And that was kind of a dream gig. I mean, I held it in, but like that was kind of a dream gig because like I was playing football, I wanted to go to the league and everything, but I ended up getting there in a different path. So that's why I'm trying to teach like young kids. Like, I mean, you especially if they want to be a pro athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be a professional athlete. Okay, cool. Like one day there's life after football, even if you make it pro. So that's why you need to be thinking about like what else can you get into, what else other career paths can you pivot to do what you want to do and try to enjoy the work that you do every day.
That's real, man. When somebody does inquire about using your services, is it a situation where you then start to write and create that particular experience for them, or like for example, did Vic come to you and say, "Hey, this is my vision"? Is what I
it depends.
Do?
So like,
how is it working with some of these athletes?
Yeah, so it can be rough working with athletes. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna be straight up. It could be rough because especially if they don't have like professional like management. Like you would be surprised some of these big athletes like don't have like
they don't have a team.
They don't know how to talk.
Teams.
No.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
It'd be him and
somebody like me, like the work that I do, I need like strong communication, like to have a good product. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, or we just shooting a video. I mean, I can shoot a video. I can try to make it look good, but you know, if there's no brief at least,
text
or like
me back,
some type
bro.
of,
can I get an email?
Yeah. So sometimes working with athletes, or
what you
like
want, bro?
talent.
Hey, just shoot me, bro.
Yeah.
Just make sure the camera on me.
Just record, bro.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Just like Tatum. You see the Tatum video?
Sometimes
something
people
like that.
Sometimes people of status don't respect your time, or you really if they don't know you like that. So I've had some issues kind of with not just athletes but just talent. Period. But that usually comes if there's not an agency in the middle, or if there's not. So you can be hired. So there's like two type of clients, at least for me. Like recently, like usually I get hired by like an agency or a group, like saying like they come to me already with an idea or half an idea, and they're like, this is what we want to do, this is the budget, this is where it's going to be at, this is how much time you have to do it, can you send in a project or a deck, saying how you would get this done for this amount of money, or I'm sending in a bid for however much I think it's going to cost to make. So that's kind of how it goes usually.
Those are your favorites?
Yeah, those are the best ones. Because agencies, they've been doing this. They've been doing this forever. And most of them are very, very experienced, so they know what it takes. They know what it means to have a production crew come in. They know what it means to hire. Sometimes I'm a videographer. Don't shock them. But yeah, like sometimes I'm a videographer, and that's kind of just me, one man band. I come in, I shoot, and I edit. But now recently, I'm coming in as more as a director on set, or even a producer on set, where I can come in. I can hire a gaffer, somebody to do sound, somebody to, you know what I'm saying?
First word there? Hire what?
A gaffer. That's like a professional lighting person. Like they
it's a big circle thing.
So you just got one person do the lights.
Yeah, well, that's like soft
he
boxes.
Enjoys life. Learning things makes him happy.
So they would just, you know what I mean? Like, and when you can have a crew, like the product's just always gonna be better. So I'm getting to that point now where I can.
So you got people, okay? So you got a team now. You're starting to build this.
Well,
team.
I don't have I run a small production company myself, but I'm the only full-time employee. But like nowadays, the best way to do it is to hire contractors. There's so many like talented DPs, writers, directors, gaffers, lighting, sound. There's so many people that are talented in those very niche markets that you just hire for projects if you got the budget.
What's the best way to get in contact with you if somebody hears this interview? Okay, maybe I can help out.
I could be a gaffer.
Oh yeah, definitely Instagram or Instagram or Twitter or email. I'm big on email.
You're looking for interns, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
big on email.
Too,
yeah. Just send like if you got
build your resume, my nigga.
Yeah, if you got a reel or something or any like portfolio, like definitely send it to me because there's a lot of shoots. Like the most frustrating thing for me is like when I get like inquired to do things I know I can't do, or I'm out of town, or I got another shoot that day. Sometimes I don't have like people to refer work to, or I just may feel like I don't trust.
You don't trust their work,
yeah, because
I put my name on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's like big for me. So that's the big thing. There's a lot of like I'm in an industry that is definitely booming because just the speed of social media.
Yeah,
like,
content is key, man.
Like 100% of the work that I produce and I shoot is for social media. Like 10 years ago, I would probably be like shooting for TV and shooting for web and shooting, but like
shit like that.
Like it's just crazy because there's a whole market just in social media for somebody that shoots video or does creates content. Period. I was at this summit, this like invite only like cohort that this nonprofit called #Sports. That they put together, basically like black sports creatives around, not just black, but people of color, people that are not white,
Anything but white people.
They basically put together this cohort of people of color who work in sports. People that work at Bleacher Report, ESPN, Sports Center. I met some people from TNT there, Slam Magazine, The Athletic, like younger people that are the now, like working in sports, and we all got together, talked about our struggles, our pitfalls of just working in the sports industry. So that was cool to just kind of learn from them. I can't remember why I brought that up. I was going. You've
been Kanye tangenting us, but it's been interesting.
Nah, he's been fire every single time for sure.
But
Drink Champs,
clap
it up.
I'd be interested in what that collective of people is like though. Like y'all are creative, so I imagine it's like a couple outgoing people. Most of them was like quiet.
And I was the only one from Indy. Like it's usually like that when I go to stuff like that. But it's cool because I stand out because I'm from Indianapolis. Everybody else is from New York.
What they think you don't know nothing but corn?
Indianapolis,
what's that?
Yeah, that's the thing I hate more.
Haters, man.
Corn, Indiana, they do think that. I mean, now it's getting better. They'll usually say like, "Oh, March Madness was there,"
right.
Or they may know the Pacers or the Colts, and that helps. But yeah, usually they don't know. But I try to educate people. Man, Indianapolis is a rich city with rich history. I'm an advocate of the jazz history here, man.
That's tight. Just I don't get spoken about a lot.
Man, y'all got to, if y'all ain't tapped in.
You should shoot a documentary.
Because everybody's, that would be nice. Yeah. Everybody's from Indy right here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He's from Calumet City.
Your children from Indy, you from Indy.
Well,
they from Cal.
If you're from Indianapolis, man, you got to really tap into the history on Indiana Avenue, the history of the jazz clubs and all the entertainment that used to come through here, man, because it was some heavy hitters. West Montgomery. If y'all want to unplug, y'all want to listen to rap for a minute, unplug in the morning or whatever. If you smoking, whatever you do, turn on that Wes Montgomery. He from Indianapolis, Indiana. He's considered the best jazz guitarist of all time.
That's crazy.
Yes,
and he from the city.
If you Google who's the best jazz guitarist of all time, Wes W-E-S Montgomery, his name will come. He's from Indianapolis. He grew up on Indiana Avenue.
There's a park named after him.
Yeah, he died pretty early on. I think early 40s.
I say, where's it at?
Yeah, him. Wes Montgomery, man, his music is amazing.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to the city.
Yeah, Freddie
I'm
Hubbard.
learning. I had no idea about Wes Montgomery.
Oh my gosh, he won Grammys. He got an Apple Music. Does he have
an Essentials list? That's all he cares about.
He got the Essentials.
Okay.
Freddie Hubbard.
Everybody loves Essentials but you.
He played the trumpet. Freddie Hubbard. He's from here, man. He's amazing music. He got Apple Music.
Yeah, we've lost.
Man, these are Grammy winners from back in the day, man. The 60s, 70s. Noble Sissel. I think he was coming up in like the 20s. Coming up in like the 20s. He was from Indianapolis. He was from Indianapolis, moved to New York in the 20s, and helped start the whole Harlem Renaissance. He had a play called like a stage play back in the day in the 20s, like that type of music back in the 20s.
He knew CJ.
It was a play called Shuffle Along, I believe. It's called Shuffle Along, and I think that play
YouTube Shuffle Along.
Yeah, or Google Shuffle Along, because that was like a very like pivotal play in New York. It helped start the Harlem Renaissance. He was from Nap.
That's crazy.
And
Nap everywhere. We got a
Avenue.
hand in everything. Never forget.
Y'all need to get y'all Nap knowledge up, nigga.
All that
y'all know nothing about this place.
So Noble Sissel, Wes Montgomery.
Shut up.
Noble Sissel and Wes Montgomery start there.
For sure. Hey,
Nap
go ahead. This is good. Go ahead.
So obviously you're very well versed in the past of Nap. How do you feel about the present and the future? Like where we're going as far as like you're creative, we're creatives. How do you feel about where we're at and where we're going?
Yeah, first of all, shout out Anthony Murdoch because
shout out to Murdoch, man. Hey, I was about to say this. I can see why y'all are friends.
Yeah,
oh, I bet
for
y'all
sure. I know,
talking,
boy.
Nigga.
The conversation I probably have about Indiana Avenue probably take 6 hours.
Man, hey,
Word marathon.
I just graduated from IUPUI in May. So I went there for 2 years, and me and Murdoch had a lot of long like meetings and talks.
He only has long talks
at the law school.
Short
and,
talks with Murdoch.
like I would get out of night school at the informatics building where I was doing like video classes, and I would get out of night school at like 8:30 or something and go rock with Murdoch. We just sit and talk for like hour or two at night after you get out.
That dude.
That shit had to be damn near normal for you though. Like you was going to classes while shooting for the league. Like
yeah, I was doing a lot, man. I was contemplating like dropping out many times because I was already getting like flown out.
Yeah, he's already doing the stuff.
Got to see it through, my boy.
Yeah, that's like being in the league, going back to class still.
I was like, why the fuck am I still in school right now?
I ain't paying.
Nobody's asking me about my degree. Nobody's asking me about my education. But I'm not saying don't go to school though, because college is very valuable. It's a good opportunity to meet people. It's a good opportunity to learn how to communicate. A good opportunity to get out, learn how to communicate. That's a big one.
You gotta grow up too.
Yeah. I think it's valuable, but it's not 100% needed to get where you need to go.
That's real. Juwann, what are some? I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
So I feel like you came up with the Mike G's and the Murdochs. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, when we go places, we see y'all out. Y'all usually are having a conversation and talking. How has their work inspired you? Because I think that is one thing about the collegiate experience that sometimes people take for granted.
It's a network.
The networking opportunity you had.
Yeah.
I just said Murdoch,
Mike G,
Juwann, Mike. They all went to IUPUI around the same time. So how did that prepare you for this moment of working with them and see what they're doing now? How does that affect you, inspire you?
Yeah, and to go back to the initial question about the current culture, I shouted out Murdoch, but definitely I want to shout out Mike G too. I know he's from the region, but the things that he's doing here is just it's groundbreaking, man. It's helping inspire other creatives to do things, just to do shit. Like, just do shit. You know, if you got ideas, just do it. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing nothing but getting older at this point. So just do that. And I feel like me and Mike, like we relate in that aspect as far as like work ethic and trying to make things happen. So shout out to him. I had went to Laurie for the first time this summer because I was at school. I was traveling. I never could make it, so that was cool. So shout out Steven.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
The one outside?
Yeah. Nah, I went to the one the one outside, City Market, yeah. I live like right over there, so that was cool. So yeah, I love where Indianapolis is going. I do feel like I see some people say like it's a renaissance right now. There's a lot of people believing in themselves, doing things, being creative, and I'm just happy to be a part of that. So
how do you feel about? Typically, we see like the old guard. You know,
he working with him.
I know. That's why I wanted.
He good money.
Yeah. So do you see that maybe the old guard sometimes is holding other folks back?
You mean like gatekeepers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Indianapolis has a lot of that.
Yeah, you don't.
No.
Respect them niggas.
Oh no, nobody own me.
For us.
Don't nobody own me. I'm me. But there's a lot of. I do feel like there's a lot of that in Indianapolis versus other cities, because there's just not as many opportunities here. There are a lot of opportunities here, right? Depending on your industry. In my industry, there's a lot of opportunities, but they are a lot scarce than if I were in a city like LA, Chicago, in a bigger market. So wait, what was the question again as far as that?
I mean,
how do you feel about gatekeepers?
Yeah. How do you deal with that? So I think like in today's day and age, like people are gonna make decisions like based on things that you've already done. So like most likely an opportunity is gonna come your way if somebody can match that up with something you've already done. So like, hey, this opportunity is here. I want to hire you or choose you or give you this opportunity because I've seen what you have done in the past of similar style work. So that's what I've kind of learned to get past gatekeepers. Is like if there's an opportunity that I want to do, and I don't have that type of work in my portfolio, I need to get that type of work in my portfolio, which is shoot something for free or shoot a spec project. What I call them spec projects, where it's projects where I'm spending my own money or if there's other people working for free or whatever to make this passion project for our portfolio to show clients or agencies or whoever that, hey, we can do this type of work. And that's
like
kind of
that's gospel right there.
Like
that's kind of how you make it in creative industry, in my opinion.
This current generation, millennial and Gen Z, don't want to do anything for free.
I mean, sometimes you got to start
even
out
when it's
that
helping
way.
build you, it's like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah,
I won't be there.
But when your portfolio gets in a position to where you can charge, for the type of work you want to get hired for, then but
smack these niggas.
Either you working for free or for very little until you get that work in your portfolio that somebody can hire you for. And then just in my industry, in the creative industry, like when people are spending money on a project, a documentary, any type of film, any type of video, like this it's like a one-time thing. So money is usually an issue, so there's a lot of pressure usually. So they want to make sure you can get this done. They got to make sure you can do what you say you can do.
Got you. What are some listen, this has been fire. I got like I'm thinking of all these questions I had, but what are some projects that you're working on this year? Yeah, anything special you working on that you want to
next year now
share with the people?
PreGame exclusive.
I've had a really exciting year. Like I said, like working with the race team, working with McLaren. They sent me overseas, doing the thing with Gang at March Madness.
Shout out
to Gang.
The Final Four at NCAA. That was a really cool plug. So I really love that project. I'm working on a project with David Bell. He plays at Purdue.
Yeah. He's a legend.
Eastside legend. Went to the same high school. I've been covering him since he was at Warren. So.
He's all over ESPN right now, going crazy.
Yeah, going a little too nuts, man. So he's obviously gonna have a future in the NFL. So I'll probably continue to cover his story since we're from the same neighborhood, from the same side of town.
That's crazy. So them David Bell content.
Yeah, and he's
that's one.
Yep, and he's got his team. You know what I'm saying? He's represented by Vayner Sports, Gary Vaynerchuk's sports side of things. I'm excited about that content. I'm actually excited to work with McLaren more, the race team. I found a love for motorsports. Honestly, nothing like basketball, or nothing like football, nothing like being on the sidelines. Nothing like
sure it's tight though.
But motorsports is cool, and a lot of us need to be more involved in that space. Even like careers within motorsports, engineers. There's like high level engineers in motorsports, mechanics,
science based,
media. You know, even they need it. Yeah, they need talent and more diversity in that sport. But motorsports usually doesn't reach the black community because it's a club sport. It's very expensive to like, you know, to be a race car driver. You got to start off as a you got to start off as a young kid go-karting, and that costs money. You know, go-karts, repairing the go-kart, you crash it, you know, doing that, you got to find a track. Where's it? We ain't no tracks in the hood.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you probably got to drive out to wherever, you know, IMS or Brownsburg, wherever you can find a track.
One.
So that's why racing doesn't reach our community. It's just very, very, very expensive. But there's ways to get in there. Like
it's red line.
It's red line.
So I'm excited for that. Like I said, David Bell project. I got a couple other documentary projects that I have coming up this year. That I cannot speak about just yet.
Okay,
but
they're on the way. You understand it, though.
But I also do a lot of like corporate work, a lot of like different you know, events that come to the city. You know, like that's why I like freelancing and running my own, doing my own thing, because like if I worked for a team or if I worked for I don't know, organization, I'd be pretty much shooting the same stuff, kind of
calendar repeat out, looking real repetitive.
But right now I'm kind of picking and choosing what I want to shoot, picking and choosing stories I want to tell, which is very exciting for me. So like one day I could be shooting at the NFL, and I'm shooting at Purdue, and the next day, and then next week I could be in LA working on some project or something. Then I come back and shoot something for a law firm or something in Indianapolis downtown. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
I can shoot a lot of different things. So
are you still at the level can we just send you an inquiry, or are you?
Oh yeah.
Or you got to be verified.
I ain't bougie. Don't worry about it.
I ain't bougie like that. I mean, there are certain projects that I am looking for, right? That may get a prompter response.
But you gonna pull up to my daughter's birthday party? You gonna do that?
I can't do that. But I do. It ain't like that.
That's not what I said.
It ain't like that.
God bless you.
It ain't like that. I just graduated from that. But I would recommend you to somebody that can, you know,
get you together.
For sure. That can get you together.
Talk to somebody else at the firm.
Off that, I'm not going back.
Congratulations on the baby. I'm not coming.
Yeah. So that's that. I mean, but that's just the growth though, man. Like, bruh, like I'm telling you, like 3 years ago, I was working at Finish Line Warehouse out east, walking up and down Mid-Hartford to work like every day, and not in the middle of the night, but early in the morning, dark. Like it's dangerous to be doing that.
Right there by Amberwoods.
Sure.
Yeah,
you really was tripping.
Yeah,
I would have came and got you. I ain't
That's a tough walk right there.
So I was, you know what I mean? So like just to now, like that's why I'm very grateful, very humble for everything, because to me every day is celebration, because I wasn't supposed to be here, man. So
that's real, man. All right, what does the pinnacle of success look like for you?
Pinnacle.
Yeah, what we trying to win some awards? We trying to be at the Oscars? What's up?
Oh, you mean like just big goals I have? I guess more than that. I mean, I definitely would like to be directing like full feature documentaries here soon. Like 30 for 30, a lot of sports documentaries. Like sports documentaries is like what I'm really gravitated towards. I don't know if y'all saw the Malice in the Palace one on Netflix. Like that is like. Man, just the lighting,
Andrew Luck retiring.
The way just that crew rocked that.
I'll talk to you about it.
The way they rocked that, that's kind of like goals. That's kind of like content that I really want to get into. But I have the connections now of directors and DPs and producers, people that are already doing those things.
What's a DP, brother? Help me out.
A DP is director of photography, so that's usually the person like operating the camera on the set, or he's like he's coaching the camera operator, showing him like we want this image with this lighting, and you know move here or there. He's the director is directing the DP, like I want the shot this way, that way. That's like
crazy.
That. So I've like worked with DPs myself, or I've been a DP on the set, where I'm being directed, or I'm directing another DP with the monitor, so you can see it, like you know what I mean, to get what you need.
A lot more that goes into this stuff, man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just now getting into like the last year and a half. I'm just now actually getting on sets, like commercial sets, like you know, like bigger commercial sets.
You just did man, you just shot it. You were in it actually.
Oh yeah, the Pacers City Edition uniform.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like the first time where I was like hired as talent, like to be in front of the camera, which was wild. No, I don't hate it. I
do that too.
It was cool. That's not what I said.
I do it all.
I actually don't hate it because I mean it's still production. Like I still got to go in there, talk to the director, see how the camera was moving, just see how the whole thing was being.
Let the joint, the Naptown Thrift kind of helped out with.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out Naptown Thrift.
Shout out to Naptown Thrift.
Shout out Naptown Thrift. They come through.
It's all good. That's family here.
But yeah, that was a dope campaign. They was basically channeling the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they kind of merged them into that City Edition uniform. So that was dope.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Listen, round of applause for Juwann. Interview was crazy. A lot of knowledge was dropped. He's really doing big things.
Appreciate y'all.
Again,
I can't wait to see this shit.
If you got to DM him, listen, he will not be at your gender reveal.
No.
All right?
Nah.
Your graduation party will not be filmed.
I pay my dues.
For sure.
He don't care about your mom retiring.
Yeah, he ain't want to hear none of that.
No, I do care, man. I'm gonna recommend
He
y'all.
care, but he ain't
I'm
pull up.
gonna recommend. But yeah, and I love the city, man. I consider myself an advocate of the city,
For sure.
especially when I'm outside because I travel so much. But I feel like it feels good to say you're from Indy because like most times people ain't met nobody from
As you
Indy.
should
so
be.
Man, say with your
that's
soul
dope.
some pride. Man, I'm
That's
from
dope.
that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of niggas that grew up here. They got hate in their heart.
weird.
It's weird.
Stop hating on the city, man. We got 1 million people live here. That means opportunity.
Come on, man.
1 million people live here.
Juwann
man.
from here.
That means opportunity. So
West Montgomery for here. I just learned that. Shout out to West.
Y'all got to get on that West Montgomery.
I'm gonna
play
stay on the
it.
way to work tomorrow.
He's already added to my shit.
Man, and Freddie Hubbard. Freddie
And
Hubbard.
Freddie Hubbard from here.
Freddie Hubbard.
That's a real nigga right there. I can
Man,
tell by
he's
his
a
name.
dog. He's a dog, man. That Red Clay.
Okay, Freddie.
He got a song
Don't call me that. I'll
called
fight
Red
you.
Clay. It's just that improv jazz, man.
That's
It's something-
crazy, man.
It's something different.
All right, man. Round of applause again, man, for Juwann, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Tell the people where they can find you one more time.
Yep,
yeah.
for sure.
Instagram WANNMILLIon, WANN Juwann million, like 1 million, but Juwann. My college roommate, shout out Emo Man, he gave me that nickname at Benedictine University. It was a lot of long nights, a lot of joints.
He's probably from the crib.
Road. We didn't have nothing to do, but he gave me that name when I was making beats. I forgot to tell you that I started by making beats. But yeah,
know that too.
that's how I learned how to edit on software. Was making beats, like
Damn.
editing audio and stuff. So when I started editing video, it was easy. It's like the same thing. So yeah, Juwann million, WANN million. Twitter Juwann317, WANN317, or WANNMillion.com.
For sure.
Hit me
Here
up.
around the city, man.
Yep.
Make sure you say what's up.
Yeah, shout out Magnolia Green too. Great product. I haven't.
Shout out
I haven't met
Magnolia
bro.
Green.
I haven't
Brand
met
is
bro in
strong.
person, but I can give a little shout out. I got my beard, my
Got the comb on.
man.
For sure,
Keep-
man. Shout
think I
out
ain't got
Magnolia
it on
Green
me?
for the city, by the city as well.
I got it on me right now.
You already know I got it on me.
Smells
Yeah,
great.
it's on my skin.
Indeed.
Best
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Until next time. Next.
Next.